You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco
what up?
Here on the CGD Live Radio Show. You can watch us live on KCAAradio.com or CGDradio.com.
Yes.
Top left corner. Just go ahead and click Ustream and watch us live. I love saying that. I love watching that. How's your weekend?
You like watching us on Ustream?
How was your weekend?
It was great. Yesterday, I actually celebrated one of my really close friends' mom's birthday out in Pomona.
Oh yes, I saw it on your Facebook. Big shout out.
Big shout out.
Claudia.
I won't say her age because
yeah.
she only had one candle on her cake.
Oh, really?
Asked her, how many candles do you want, Mary? And she's like, oh, just one.
She's so cute. Yeah, Claudia, you didn't invite me. Just kidding.
Yes, I went to that, and then I also went. You know me, always at the movies. So,
yes. What's the gotta see movie? Right.
You know what? Delivery Man.
Yes, I saw that.
Great movie.
What
did you think? What did you think about it?
I actually was going in, not really. I mean, I was. It wasn't one of those movies that just got my attention right from the start and be like, oh my God, I gotta watch it.
Kinda
but
like
when
Gravity?
I went in there, well, I haven't seen Gravity.
But how people had like that one mindset. Like,
but I actually
awesome
went in there and it was an actual good movie. Like I would have totally spent money on it for real.
Well, Vince Vaughn, he makes great movies.
It was good. It was good.
So you recommend it?
I recommend it.
How many thumbs up?
I give it a 9 thumbs up.
9. That's a lot of thumbs.
Out of 10.
I only have 2.
Out of 10. What movie did you go see?
I went to go see The Delivery Man also, and then The Best Man Holiday. I mean, it's not that new, but it's pretty new. It's also it's a good movie and has a lot of great known actors on there like Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, Regina Hall, and then The Hunger Games. Of course, it's still at the top.
How is that? Because everybody keeps talking about that.
158 million on the third weekend. That's how much money. That's a lot. That's made the most this whole year. I think it's the movie that made the most. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I recommend you watch the first one first. That way you get it because it gets right into the second movie, just like the book. And then there is going to be a third one, probably next year or probably 2015. So definitely go watch those. And then this next weekend, this Friday, Homefront with Jason Statham and James Franco comes out. Also Frozen with Kristen Bell and Dina Menzel. Make sure you guys go watch that. Opens up Friday.
You know which one I had called you about? The Church Girl. I wanted to see that one.
Did you see it?
No.
In Love with the Church Girl?
It's nowhere to be found.
There's only one theater where I saw it at, which was in Corona.
What movie theater?
It's called Phoenix in Dos Lagos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
up to 15. I wouldn't recommend it. But
so was it good?
I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't good. If you
was
like movies, no, it wasn't. It's not even that. I mean, it had Ja Rule on it.
Okay.
First off, in it, and then Adrian Bailon.
Did you see our friend on there? He always hits us up on Facebook. Cartoon. He said he came out in it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't really looking out for him. So,
yeah.
But I mean, if you're into like indie films, go watch it. It's an okay movie. If you like Adrian Bailon, she's Latina, and then Ja Rule, the rapper. So go see it. Don't take my word for it.
Well, my weekend was kind of great. No, it was great. It was great. Always busy working though. You know me. Always busy working. Why are you laughing for? But you know what?
I'm glad you had a great weekend.
What was horrible though is waking up to the news of Paul Walker.
Oh,
that was just horrible.
Rest in peace,
man. Like seriously, I have a problem. Seriously, where I'm going through Facebook and I'm seeing people post up pictures of the actual accident, and I don't think that's right, especially because he has a 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and I saw a post that the daughter put.
Oh, really?
On her Facebook.
See, she's on Facebook. That's my point. And no matter how famous he was, that's somebody's, father. You know what I mean? That's not cool.
Yeah, and then it's really ironic how it happened. Especially him being one of the big stars in Fast and the Furious, and then to the way his tragic accident happened. I don't know. It's heartbreaking.
It's horrible. Well, may he rest in peace. On another note, we are interviewing Claudia and Joe from GTS Credit. So we're going to go ahead and play one more song, but we're going to come back to them here live at the studio in San Bernardino, NBC Studios. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco here on CGD Live Radio Show. Remember, if you're hearing us live on 1050 AM, you can also watch us live on KCAAradio.com or CGDradio.com. Top left corner, hit Ustream. I love saying that.
And if you go on our website, it's actually on the right-hand corner. It's a CGD radio.
Oh, really? I never noticed.
It's on the left side, and then on the website, it's on the right.
There you go. Okay, well, we have here live at the studio Claudia and Joe from GTS, which I'm really excited about this because, honestly, it's past due, right?
Yes.
Like, I have known you forever, right?
Yes.
And we were on here.
Okay.
We were on here, but no,
no,
not at all.
No, she was actually mentioning to me that she needed to get you on here because people have asked you about credit before.
People have asked us about credit
Anna.
or business questions, and honestly, like, I see you as a mentor.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
And when it comes to business, like, you are the person. And that's why I think, like, on my Facebook, I go ahead and retweet. Not retweet. That's Twitter.
Share.
Share.
The credit lady. I always see that. Credit
lady. You know? And I go ahead and always share stuff from you guys because I feel like if people have questions, you're, like, the main ones that people should go to. I mean, I don't know if in the credit business people, you can give business advice because, I mean, I don't know if that would be, I don't know how they, you know,
it's
how
a different arena,
right?
But, yeah.
But if people get to know you, they should. Hint, hint, get to know her. Because, I mean, you know all the inside outs. Like, I literally come to you. Well, and if I haven't, I will. But I do.
And it is kind of inspiring also seeing, like, your posts and stuff like that, or your videos here and there, and especially being a Latina. I don't know, for me at least.
That's the main thing for me, I think, because you're very inspirational, and that's why I brought you on. Even though it's past due. But, you know, you individually are very inspirational, and both of you, Mr. Comedian over here too, and you're going to know why we call him a comedian. Look. That was your cue right there, man.
Thing. Softball, I missed it. Anyway.
But, you know, you're a very inspirational, like, person, you know. I'm sure it goes way back even before GTS. Because, I mean, I know you.
Right.
So I know there's a story before GTS, you know. So I sort of want, you know, when I invite people over, I want more of a story because a lot of people only see what we want them to see as business owners, you know. We paint this pretty picture, but it's not because of that. We're just being professional, you know.
Right.
But most of the time, you know, there is a story, and I like to inspire people. We like to inspire people on here, and I like to ask questions. And even though I know you, like, I want to be able to share that person that I look up to everybody else.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. And yes, we all have a story. We all have a reason why we do what we do. And you are right. There's days that you do have to paint that picture because we're human. There's days that you don't want to get up, that you don't want to go out there and talk about what you feel is the same thing over and over because that's what you do on a daily basis. But then you look at what you're doing out there and how it's really changing people's lives that makes you want to do it all over again. And thank you for having us here. And,
I'm excited.
You know, we're really excited.
Very.
Joe.
And,
So let the people know a little bit, like, who you are, Claudia, and who Joe is.
Okay, well, we've owned a credit business for the last 8 years, GTS, Gateway to Success Credit. And what we started just with personal credit, educating people on what credit is, how it can be restored, how they can get back on their feet. And just recently, about a year and a half ago, we started with small businesses, teaching them how to establish business credit away from their personal credit. And I've come to realize that it's such an important area of our lives, daily lives, and there's not that much education out there. Joe and I, we've been working together for, it's coming now, close to 4 years.
4 years.
And we're an awesome team. He brings a lot of knowledge to the table, and it helps all the way around. So in order to also run a business, you have to have the right people involved, and with the right mentality, with the right heart, you know, especially when you're dealing with people that come to you with already what they feel is a problem. For us, it's not a problem because there's always a solution and there's a reason why people got there. But just a little bit about myself. I've been in business for 20 years. Ever since I graduated high school, and I'm not going to go really far back, but I don't want people guessing my age here. But it's been 20 years of being involved in finances. I was a financial advisor before, and after that, I moved into mortgage loans. I did that for a while. And when the market took a change, then that's when I really realized that credit was going to be a big impact. And it has been. At the beginning, it was kind of hard because it was all new to everybody, and people still feel like, we're okay. But really, when the whole economy changed to the way people lost their homes, their jobs, everything just fell apart. It really became a big issue. And as a company, because we've been in business for so long, we've built the credibility, we've built the reputation, and we have a lot of our business, and I would say a good 98% of our business is all referral based. In this industry, to be 98% referral based, it means because there's something out there that's working, and we're not just telling people what to do, but we're actually following through. And it's a tough industry because you hear a lot of negativity out there. I remember when I first started, people would ask me, so what do you do? And I would say, credit, because people would say, that doesn't work. And, that's...
Really? Was that negative?
Wow. I mean, it was really like to the point that I thought, well, maybe I should change the title of what I do. But you just keep moving on and knowing in your heart that it's all about the education. No matter what you do, it's about the education that you're providing to people. Because at the end of the day, we're only one company. We're only a team of a few people. And we don't want people to be in the same position over and over. But if you give the education, if you give the foundation to people, even if they see themselves in the same position in the future, they know exactly what to do or who else to follow. So that to me is very important. And I am very passionate about what we do, because I've seen the changes in people's lives. And, that just makes you happy, and it makes you want to keep
it's
on
true, though. It's
going.
True. I already envisioned mine. She's fixing my credit, people. She's fixing my credit. But it's true. It's true.
Yes.
And you do make a good point, because, I mean, I already, I shared a bit about me, that how you're fixing my credit, and how I already envision, the business, You know what I mean? And that's why you're the go-to woman. That's why you are
thank you.
The credit lady.
The credit lady, exactly, yes.
The credit lady. So we will be back with the credit lady up next. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show, here with GTS Credit with Claudia and Joe. Here with Boss Lady and Crispy Taco. We're just having a good old time.
Yes. Always.
Talking. But now we get to, let the listeners know who Joe is.
Yes.
Yes.
Who are you, Joe? Where'd you come from?
I came from East LA in the projects. And I thought for sure, when we first got there at the project, which I didn't know they were projects, I thought we were high living. We lived in the high end because we were 2 stories, had our own park and our own gardener. Little did I know it was government homes once I got into school. What a dream, just knocked out. But anyways, here I am, 50 years later. Here I am. And the projects are still there.
He is the one known to be a comedian. I always told him, when I met him, you need to be a comedian. Seriously, what are you doing?
Just working doing credit.
You're working with GTS.
Well, we have them rolling too. Sometimes their FICO scores keeps me rolling. Oh, man. But anyways, we'll help you.
So what is it that you do with GTS?
Well, since I've been in the industry for over 20 years in the lending and also in the quality control, really knowing the underwriters, what they think, and understand the credit report. Because when you look at a credit report, you think you know what you're doing, but there's a lot of things that in between the lines of the credit report tells the person's habits and all that. But again, being with that, I've seen the big feel in credit, because we did have that pocket year that we say that credit wasn't an issue. It was just basically was at the time of purchasing a home was just the value of the home. They were just hinging on that always values are going to go up. But guess what? It always goes down too. So now we got back to our traditional that you have to have good credit, you have to have a down payment, you have to have a job that's going to pay you to qualify to make the payments. So credit is now become another back again like what it's supposed to, your character. So again, you have to have good credit to purchase, and that's what the banks are doing right now. They're looking at the FICO scores really tight. They want them up there in the high 6. Yeah, there are banks that are going to do a lower FICO scores, but what happens is that you're going to pay more in fees. So it's just to compensate the risk. It's all about risk here. That's why I tell clients, the lower the score you have, you're a higher risk, so you're going to have to pay more. and everything. The higher your credit score, you're minimal risk, so you're going to pay less. So the whole thing is educating people of how to keep those scores and maintain them, especially at a young age. Teaching them at teenagers.
That's true.
That's where you got to teach them the money, what it is, interest, credit, and all.
Because that's when they can really build it.
Exactly.
When they're young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then also it has changed also our habits in buying, because I came through the baby boomers years where, it's just luxury, just buy, charge it, you're never going to pay it off the house. From my parents or my grandparents that were into, you got to pay off that house.
Mm-hmm.
You buy
and do everything cash.
Exactly.
If you have it, you buy it.
Exactly.
If you don't, you just don't.
And now we're getting back to the millennials, and they're looking at it too, because they got some big, heavy bills, the student loans they just can't purchase. So, again, it's knowing your credit, how to maintain it, and what is it, the benefits from what you have, what high scores you get. So there's a lot.
I love it because the reason too that I brought you guys here, other than saying the story of how you guys started, is really to answer questions, because we, like Crispy said, we always get questions asked to us about credit or business and stuff like that. So if you're listening, if we have any listeners that are inspiring, business owners, entrepreneurs, or just simply have a question about credit, go ahead and give us a call, 888-909-1050, and you can talk to them live.
Yes.
And ask them anything. Just if you don't want to say your name, just
keep it anonymous. You can say your FICO score.
But it's sometimes I know if I would be listening and I wasn't at this end, I probably would call. I'll be like, I have a question, because sometimes we don't really know.
Well, you know what's so funny is that we have this idea also about credit. One, it's all habits. Our habits will determine how well and how fast we're going to get to a good score. Second is, what am I trying to accomplish? A lot of the times we say, well, I want good credit. Well, for what? What is it that you're trying to do? Are you trying to purchase a car? Are you trying to get financing? Are you trying to purchase a home? What is it that you're trying to accomplish, so we know what you need to do to get there? The main things that we hear is, okay, I want to buy a car, I want to buy a house. Well, a lot of the times it's not that difficult, and people are not that far away from really qualifying. And it's just a matter of twitching little things here and there about what they're already doing or where they're at to be able to make that happen. So it's really inspiring to be able to tell people, it's like, look, it's not that difficult to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. We're not here to tell you, yes, call us in a month, in 60 days you're going to... No, it doesn't happen that way, because normally if you really take a look at how long it took for someone to get there, it was more than 1 year. The good thing is that people can actually get there to back on their feet with a good score within a year. So when we really compare the time of how long it'll take someone, it's not that long as how it took them to get there. We have files that come in that want to purchase, and we look at the files, and within 4 months they've gone from the high 500s to the low 700s. That doesn't happen to everyone, because everybody's scenario is different. But my saying is always, if it happened with one person, it could happen with another one, and it could happen with another one. It's just a matter of getting the education, changing our habits, and knowing that it does work. It's not a miracle. It's not a magical pill. It's not a magic wand that you're going to, throw on there. But it is our right as consumers. There's rights protecting us on whether it's based on collection companies, whether it's restoring your own credit. As consumers, we have rights. But then when did you ever take a class saying, look, this is your right as a consumer? You have the right to dispute. You have the right to have only correct information on your credit report. No one. I know that in the, 15 years that I was in the industry before, guiding people on what to do with their finances, not once did I ever attend a class. Right?
Really?
So I've given so many classes to financial advisors, to people that have been in the financial industry for years. And when I sit there and talk about credit, I would say a good 80% don't know the credit rules. Why? Because there's not that much education out there.
No, there isn't. And then when people hear about credit, it's sort of like gives them a chill, right? Like a chill. They're talking about credit. Ooh, girl.
When you got 43 million people that have errors on their credit reports. What does that tell you? So there's a system already for fail, and that's the whole thing. And people don't understand that. They think that 3 bureaus is telling they're on their sides. They're not on their sides. They're against them. So again, it's just getting to know the information, and now that with the internet, I mean, there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah, there is. I see like a lot of stuff that you put on your Facebook though. Yes. You do messages through videos, and you do a lot of posts.
Q&A, we do that too.
Stuff. So I love that because that's when I repost. And sometimes I look at it and it's like, this is awesome. Like, it's good information, And, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about, how you guys met and started, GTS, and then maybe advice and stuff. Okay. So we'll come back. We have 2 hours here with GTS Credit. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show here with Claudia.
Credit lady. I know. And Joe.
I was debating to call you Claudia or the credit lady, right? And Joe. And we were here, talking during break about how a lot of people, they have a credit business, right?
Yes.
And how a lot of people are really scared to ask questions. And why is that? Why do you think?
A lot of companies out there are out just to charge money. It's such an easy business to get into and just sell the hope that something can happen. And being that there's really, people are not familiar with the process, it's so easy for someone just to pay and the company not do anything and still just, keep them, dragging them along. So for people, it becomes really scary to say, I'm going to pay for something, even though I don't understand it, even though I don't know what you're going to do, but I need it. So instead of really putting yourself at risk and losing money, people just decide not to do anything at all.
But what I like about you is that you guys are somebody that you guys can actually sit down with and ask questions.
Yes.
You're actually to be honest, they're very, very known to fix celebrity credit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? I want to ask like who, but I know you guys have a, disclosure form here. But that's what pretty much they're known for, to fix celebrity credit. So, that's when they're good.
And something for people to understand is, people think because I have money, I have good credit. Some of my best clients are from Santa Barbara, and they actually hire us on a yearly basis. Not because they don't have money. I mean, they have plenty of money, more than enough money, but the problem is credit doesn't discriminate. It's a system, it's a software. So it's either you pay or you don't. And if you don't, it's going to affect you just as much whether you have money or you don't. The system doesn't recognize your income level. So if you think that, because they have money, they're going to be in a good place when it comes to credit, not necessarily. They have somebody else making their payments, and if that somebody didn't make the payment, their credit just got shot. So that's when we come in to say, okay, let's see how we're going to go ahead and take care of this so you can move on and either get a line of credit, either, refinance your house to a lower interest rate. So we have clients that hire us on a yearly basis to be able to be fixing stuff over and over.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yes. So it's not about money or how much money people make.
That's funny that you mentioned that they don't discriminate.
They don't.
Whether you have money or you don't have money. And then you see a lot of if you look on like on TMZ or like those celebrity website stuff, you see a lot of celebrities that have bad credit, and it'll put them on blast on there that they have bad credit or that they don't pay their income taxes.
I never noticed that. You're on TMZ a lot, huh?
I'm on every morning. That's what I do before I start work. Before my start time, I go online and you see a lot of celebrities.
Don't say that.
Before my start time. On my break, we're allowed to.
On your phone. Yes, on your phone. Just kidding.
But yeah, you see that a lot. So it's funny that you mentioned they don't discriminate. That was pretty funny.
And you know what? And a lot of people after bankruptcies, we get that a lot. After bankruptcy, people feel like that's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. And it may be. But the good thing is that when you know the rules about credit, when you understand it, it's sometimes a good solution because you could be right back on your feet 4 or 5 months after a bankruptcy with a 700 FICO score.
Oh, wow.
And rebuild yourself all over again. but then again, who's out there teaching us that could be something that can happen?
And I didn't know. I literally had to meet you in order for you to explain to me and take the time to explain to me about all that, the whole credit thing.
It took me a while to tell you.
Right? I didn't understand.
Let me help you. Let me help you. I can help you.
Yeah, you kept telling me that, and I didn't understand until you sat down with me and actually explained everything to me. I started seeing the vision.
Yes. Yes.
Because people automatically assume, because I know I get questions at work also, they assume, it takes 7 years before I can actually start doing something again. So you're saying that you can start a lot before 7 years.
And it's different because, see, now the guideline, and I'm going to say a guideline because it's not a law, the guideline with the credit bureaus is 10 years. A bankruptcy is going to be on your credit report for 10 years. The law says you can file for bankruptcy every 8 years. So you figure that one out. Okay? So even it used to be 7 years, but they moved it up to 10 years, making it a little bit longer on your credit report. And understand, the lower your credit score, the more money everybody's going to make on you as a consumer. Why? Because you're a high risk. If you're a high risk, then that means that I have to protect my money. And the way I'm going to protect my money is by charging you more interest rate, which is going to cost you more money. If it costs you more money, you have less money to save, which means you're never getting out of this circle. And it's all designed to be that way. And do we fault? No, it's an independent business. It's an independent company. What we have to do is take responsibility as consumers, as people, and learn the rules. Because it's like everything else. Learn the rule, play the game, and you're going to win. The problem is that we're playing the game, not knowing the rules, not knowing the guidelines, and we keep bumping our heads on the wall trying to make it better, yet you don't even know what or how you're trying to make it better.
Right.
So as long as we continue to educate ourselves, and if we're going to sit here and also hope that Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion is going to put a class out there for us, it's never going to happen.
But you guys do give classes, though.
We give classes, we give the education, and a lot of what we do is to teach people on if they can't afford to pay, how they can do it themselves. Okay? We're not just saying, here, come and hire me, and only if you pay me, I'm going to tell you what to do. We're here to say, look, if you can't afford to make a payment, we'll teach you how you can do it yourself. Just do it and follow through. The whole key with credit, no one can fix your credit out there, and that's the reality. That's the truth. The law that was written, it says only the consumer has the right to fix their own credit. Okay, so I can't fix people's credit. If I was married, my husband couldn't fix my credit. Joe can't fix my credit. I can't fix Joe's credit. The consumer has to be the one to take the responsibility and look at the errors that are on the credit report and be able to dispute it. That's what a right is. Okay? So now where people where they don't follow through is because it's not something that's going to happen, like we said, overnight. It's something that you're going to have to be persistent and consistent with. So as humans, what happens? We get tired very quickly of doing the same thing over and over, unless it's a job, right? We kind of like that.
Or the microwave theory.
Right?
You want it fast. Instead of going in the oven, it takes longer.
So if you're persistent and you're consistent with doing your own letters, you're going to have good credit. It's just as simple as that. You know, I always tell people, it's like, look, you're going to come and talk to me so I could just not give up. Because I'm not going to give up unless you give up.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's true.
But in reality is a lot of the times we get caught up. Why? Because we have a job. If we're married, we have our family life. We have our kids. We have our events. We have life in general. So the last thing we want to do at the end of the day outside of our life is to sit there and write letters. That's the last thing you want to sit there and do.
And that's what you guys do, right?
And that's what we do. Outside of the education, because also if we're going to go a little bit deeper, if I'm not here being boring, is there's a difference between having a clean credit report and FICO score. FICO has nothing to do with all the information that's on your credit report. It's two complete different subjects. Yet people come to a company saying, I want good credit. And what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's a score. It's a scoring. It's a number. Well, that number really doesn't have anything. I mean, even though it goes with what's on the credit report, but it's not the same thing. So if people come to me and say, look, I have a 500 score, but I need a 700 to get to buy a house. Well, I already know that if it's at 500, there's nothing but collections on this credit report. The moment all those collections get taken off the system, there's no score.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the scoring, the software is not calculating anything anymore. It's being wiped out. So now the person feels like, well, wait a minute. I had a 700. I mean, I had a 500 and now I have nothing. Right? That could be scary. And I paid you. Well, that's because the scoring has nothing to do with the information that was already on the system that was negative. You're not getting the points back once they get removed. Okay?
Wow, that makes a lot of sense, and I didn't know that either.
Yes, it's like a free class, people.
Yes.
You guys better be tuning in.
Please call. It's $9.99.
Questions.
909-888-750.
So, in order for people to have good credit and a good FICO score, it requires to have good accounts, open credit cards. And I'm not going to say, I mean, a car and a house will help, but really what's going to make a difference are credit cards. As much as we want to move away from them, credit cards are the main force of having a high FICO score. Now, there's a difference between having a finance class and what's right financially versus credit. Okay? Because we're all caught up saying, well, people, I took a finance class and having no debt, having low interest rates makes better sense than having credit cards. I don't want to have debt. Well, there's a huge difference between knowing how to manage your credit cards to have good FICO score and being in debt and not running your financial plan the correct way.
Yes.
So I hope that makes sense. Did I lose anybody?
You're like, without being boring? It's because credit could always be so iffy, talking about it's like, oh, I'm going to tune out. But no, this is like literally a free credit questions being answered here. And as we're talking about that, we actually have a caller. So let's put the caller through. Hello?
Hey, it's Lou Pizarro. How are you?
Ooh,
Mr. Lou.
Hey, did you like that from all the girls? Ooh.
Yes.
Hi, Lou. What's up?
Hey, how's everybody there?
Great,
Good,
great.
thank you.
How are you doing this Sunday evening?
Fantastic.
You're not repoing any cars right now?
No, not today.
Yes, Lou is known for Operation Repo. There's Lou Pizarro. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, you're very welcome. So, I was listening to what Claudia was saying about how important it is, to have credit cards, and you also, you mentioned that some of us like to move away from credit cards.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that because for a long time, I told myself, if I can't afford it cash, I'm not going to buy it. And that was the dumbest thing, that I could have done. Because credit is so important, especially this day and time. You need credit for everything. And I do a lot of traveling, and, you need a credit card for this, credit card to rent a car, and credit card to rent a jet, and et cetera, et cetera.
A jet. You don't ask that jet.
Yeah,
he had to throw that in.
I can't take $10,000 cash and say, hey, look, I need to rent a jet. They want, just in case there's fuel overtures, or somebody spills a drink and, inside the jet or something like that, or at the hotel. It's really insane. And I went to Claudia. I tell you, and Claudia has really helped me on what I needed to achieve in order to continue my business. What I do is, produce and entertain.
And that's a strong testimonial right there.
Thank you.
Lou Pizarro right there saying Claudia is the credit lady. Go to GTS Credit. Is that right, Lou?
That's right. And not only with that, it's like now that I have, all these full credit cards and this credit, great FICO score, I'm dating upper class of women now. No.
Do you throw that black, what is it, Black
Black
Express
card?
Black American Express.
Do you got one of those, Lou? Do you got one of those?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of dark, but I got to tell you, especially being Latino, I used to make a joke is when people would say, "Hey, you want to sign up for a credit card?" And I'm like, "Look, man," I said, "they're not going to give no credit card to no Latino." And I would always just kind of make that joke, but the fact is that we need credit cards. You got to have that credit, and even if you don't use them all the time, you got to build that FICO score.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy a house and you want to finance a car, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why, to me now, credit's important. Before, I didn't really care about it.
So you definitely would suggest if we have any listeners right now listening in, that Claudia and the GTS credit are the people to go to, right? We're like, hello?
Hey, we lost
there's
him.
no pause.
Technical difficulties here.
A word from our sponsor right about now.
That was funny, though. Hello, Lou?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, my goodness. So, but you were telling us that you had a good experience with Claudia, in other words, right? And the GTS credit? Hello?
That was a yes.
That was a yes, too. Is he still there?
Yeah, that was a yes.
You're just going away here.
So, yeah, if anybody wants to reach me, go on a date so they can sample my black card, reach me at Lou Pizarro, okay? At my Facebook, my email, Lou Pizarro, YML.
Lou, are you single?
And if Sandra Bullock's listening, hey.
Oh,
You
you're
know
still
me.
with your Sandra Bullock. Still with Sandra Bullock. Hey, Lou,
Yes,
are you single? Ooh,
I am.
He is single, ladies. He is single.
I am.
Single with the Black American Express.
Dangerous.
With the dangerous Black American Express. I love it.
But you know what? You got to treat me right. If not, I'll kind of pull Orange Juice Jones on you guys, all right? Take back all them credit cards and, that fur coat.
The fur coat.
Got it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate it. Have a good
All right,
Sunday.
you guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Bye. Bye. And he's awesome. And he's on. We were on their show, right?
Yeah, actually,
yes,
we were together.
Yeah.
We were there together.
It's the Duck Radio.
Yes,
the Duck Radio.
Duck Radio.
What was the station again?
I think it was like 94.3 or something like that. Duck
And it was
Radio.
Barstow, right?
Yes.
Barstow.
So they have an
Barstow.
awesome radio show, and it's called Operation Repo Radio show. You can find them on Facebook, and that was Lou Pizarro from Operation Repo.
Yes.
So that's one of your celebrity
One of my
testimonials.
celebrities.
There you go. Thank you for calling in, any single ladies.
With now a Black American
Express. Yeah, you gotta have that. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show here live at NBC Studios in San Bernardino. And if you're listening to us at 1050 AM, go ahead and tune in. Our engineer's making me laugh. And if you're tuning in, go ahead and watch us live on kcaradio.com or cgdradio.com.
Yes.
And we are back with GTS Credit. So if you guys have any questions here for the credit lady and Joe, we gotta find you a name, because I named her. We gotta find you a name, for real. Everybody needs a name.
Joe's good.
Why are you being quiet on the radio now, huh?
Because it's radio. You gotta be quiet on radio. Isn't it? Or is it
Where's
TV?
comedian here, Joe, huh? But I would like to know, actually, I'm sorry, I'm here hating Crispy. I would like to know how you guys actually got started. Like, I want to go way back. And without saying your age, right?
Right. Way back.
But, like, was GTS, obviously it wasn't, because, I mean, I heard a little bit of your bio, and I personally know you. But was GTS your only business?
Has it been my only business? No. No, I ventured a lot.
But that's good. That's what
a
I
good
want
thing.
people to know,
Yes.
because, I mean, now we're bringing a little bit more attention towards you, and a lot of people think, okay, they're a business, but, people need to know the struggles.
Right.
And that's how you become successful. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, and through the business and through all the not failures. I don't like to use that word because it turns a lot of people off. It turns me off. But through a lot of bumps on the road, you really learn how to do things different and better. Mm-hmm. Not all the time are they going to work, but it's always I guess you always have to have a goal. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Not just in your personal life, but I think in everything that you want to do as a business. Because of that, I'm very goal oriented, and I'm a dreamer. And
you've always had.
And I've always, it's like I remember in high school, people would tell me, "Oh, you're just about money." Well, no, it's not about the money. It's about achieving something with my life, doing something. For me, a lot of it is the day I die, I want to be able for people to say, you know what, thanks to Claudia, or thanks to her being a part of my life, I can do more, or I could be more. And a lot of the times, no amount of money can ever give you that. That sense of satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment. I think the credit just came about because it was something I was already in. Finances was already something that was easy for me, and it was something that I could pick up and learn fairly quickly, versus trying something completely different, something new. For example, I look at you and I always see you so made up and so glamorous, and I think it's like, oh my God, it would take me like 2 hours, to be able to walk out the door, and I would still come back saying, it doesn't look the same. So for me to say, let me try something like that would just not be for me. But finances and business and putting things together for someone, to look at a business and say, look, you could do this, you could figure it out this way. That comes natural and that comes easy to me. So credit just kind of became the business. I have an incredible team. Part of that team is Joe, and then we have Joel and a few other people back in the office that without them, it wouldn't be what it is, which sometimes feels easy. Because you have the team, you have the force, you have the help. And if everybody's working together, aligned, it feels easy. So doing and working with businesses and their business credit, it kind of also just happened. Why? Because the first thing is we need to fix, or we need to have good personal credit if you're a business owner, because that lets everybody know who you are. At the same time, it allowed us as a company to see what we were missing to be able to take us to the next level. It's getting that part going, because business credit, it's something that's, even though it's out there, even though people do it, there's no ABC of how to do it. And what we put together and what we have for business especially is to say, look, there has to be a way of doing it the right way, where as the owner, you're not always guaranteeing or signing those business loans, because you're not the business. You're just the owner, the person running the business. So that's a complete different subject, but it all starts with us as a person. It started with me just saying...
With a dream.
With a dream. And as corny as sometimes it may sound, it starts with a dream. It starts with a desire. And that's always going to be the seed to anything and everything that we decide to do in our lives.
I love it. Well, we're going to come back to the dream. We're going to pause right now for station ID and be back.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
I love our little station ID. Usually we play, I know, right? Usually we play a song, but I want to talk about these dreams.
Are you ready? Yeah.
I am. I want to talk about these dreams. Yeah, I know. Like I said.
Are we back on?
God, it was like tripping out right now. I want to talk about these dreams, though. I do. Obviously, I think you probably envision, me putting myself in your shoes, you envision a business one day, a growing one with money. You know what I mean? Even though you're not focused on money, but eventually, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to want to bring in money.
Right.
Because then everything's for nothing, right?
Right.
Okay. So what was your vision? Did you always...
Joe's going to laugh at this because they get to hear all my dreams and it drives them. They get scared. They get scared. The next project. It's like, oh, here's the new project. No, I think that as a female and being Hispanic, it's
single.
Always...
Right.
I
had to throw
She
that
has
in.
to add that in there.
I had to throw that in because as much as I'm hearing her, she threw it and she goes, "If I was married."
If I was married.
I caught that. And I know I haven't talked to you for a while, so. Okay. Single, Latina,
as a
entrepreneur.
Latina.
Go for it.
It's always, you have to work a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. You have to prove a little bit more. And even though it's not easy, it's not hard either. You just have to be determined. And if you have your goals, because you're going to have, like we were talking earlier, you're going to have those days that you feel like the world just hits you on the face.
God, yes.
And, and if you don't have those dreams, if you don't have that vision, if you don't have that desire, it's so easy to quit.
As an entrepreneur, though, I'm sure there's a lot of inspiring ones, that, want to be entrepreneurs or struggling right now, too. Do you go through a lot? Because I know I have, like, where you just want to give up.
I think there's days, I think we
But it
all
does
go
happen,
through. It does
right?
happen,
Okay.
of course. It's like you wake up and you think it's like,
Why am I doing this?
Why? Why am I a therapist?
How did I get into this?
I'm my own therapist sometimes, but yeah.
It's like I have my own problems here, But it's only moments, and then you look back and you look at everything that you've done. You look at everything that you've done, that you keep doing. You look at your family, and you look at, okay, well, what else is out there? Even though there's so many things out there to do, if your heart's not in it, it just becomes something else to do. I think a dream is where it takes your heart and it doesn't let go. So no matter how hard or how many times you change, you always end up coming back, because that's where you're meant to be. That's your dharma. That's where, you're supposed to be, and that's where it feels right. For me, with the group that I have with my team, it feels right.
And you have a strong team.
I have an awesome team.
I see Joe's posts all the time.
Yes.
You do a lot of marketing, right?
Correct.
You're the one that does the videos
Exactly.
and all that stuff, and the flyers and stuff. You're really good at that.
Thank you.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. He is. I like the one. You have a video that I just saw that you're talking to, like, if you have questions.
Yeah, I like it. I
Right?
know what
You know
you're talking
which one,
about.
right?
And there's
Yeah.
like a palm tree. I like
Yes,
climb behind
yes.
you. And
See?
it's like
See?
your office.
I know I haven't seen you, girl,
I like
but I
it.
watch your stuff.
She has like a big, like a table, like kind of like this, like a meeting
What
table.
did she say?
huh?
What did she say? What did she say?
I don't remember, but I viewed it a few times.
I love it, though.
Yes,
I love it.
and Joe is the one that puts all of that together for us. And like I said, if you have the right people working with you, it makes your dream a lot
It's
easier
true.
to achieve.
I
Yes.
can totally relate to that. Because if you have that one person that is just not supposed to be there, nothing works out. Or either you got to get them out and keep moving. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens.
It happens in all businesses.
Primo.
You just tuned into KCAA 1050. Joe, you want to take over?
No, because the phone is ringing.
You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show here, live with GTS Credit. And we're going to go ahead and we have a caller. Cool. We were actually going to his question, but he's live here. Another testimonial. Yeah? Or questions?
Questions?
Questions. All right, let's bring him through. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Is that you?
Is this Harry?
Yes.
Hi, Harry.
How are you?
How are you? I haven't talked to you forever, Harry. I know exactly who you are.
I know.
Hi, Harry.
hey.
How are you?
This is Harry, CEO, owner of 88 Tequila.
Yes. my first question is you guys having too much fun by yourself. How come I'm not invited?
I know, right? Why aren't you here?
I know. I should have been invited. You guys have way too much fun alone.
You need to come down too. You do. You need to come down.
And I don't see. I hear a lot about Joe, but I don't see him in the picture.
Right?
Is he
Yes.
there?
No, I'm hiding.
He's hiding.
You should say I am there. You don't see me.
Yeah.
He is here.
I just wanted to say thank you to GTS here, Credit Lady, and she does excellent job and put together a lot of educational, informational thing, and she just does an awesome job. And I would just like to hear probably a little bit more about
small startup businesses.
Ah,
You know, that have, and I just told my another thing, but I wanted to ask her why credit and how long you've been in business, all that. I think you covered it already.
Yeah,
But
I think we did.
certainly would like her to go over a little bit about the startup business. You know, you have a dream, you're going to do a business, you have no money, what they should do to get some help.
There you have it.
Thank you, Harry, for putting me
You're
on the
welcome.
spotlight. Well, I think that, not that I think, but for a small business that's just starting out, having a plan outside of the dream. So now you have the dream, put the plan together, know exactly what you want and where you want this business to go. That's very important. And I think we always leave it at the end because it becomes something that we've never done and it becomes kind of hard. But if we have a plan and we have, something set in writing of where we want our business to go, whether it's, where we feel like, well, it may never get there, but we just put it on paper anyways, that's a start. When it comes to credit, the first things that we have to take a look at is getting this business set up and incorporated. Mm-hmm. It's very important. A lot of people say, well, I'm already, with a DBA, which stands for doing business as. Well, that's not good enough because that's just, using still your social to that name. That's not a business. That's just giving you a name separate of your own personal name. So the business has to be incorporated first. Once the business gets incorporated, then we could start setting it up with the business profile, which means getting it a Dun & Bradstreet number, which is similar to the federal tax ID number, getting it listed with Equifax business and Experian business. Once we have that business already set up and lined up, of course, it has to be a real business. It can't be just something that I'm going to be working at a home. There has to be a location. There has to be a phone number. There has to be an actual business that's going to be doing business. Mm-hmm. Now we could work on getting vendors to start establishing an independent credit profile for this business. Even though it sounds like a lot of work, it really isn't once it's put together and once we know exactly the steps that we have to be taking for this business to really get going and get it going from the start on the right path. There's so many things that sometimes we try to, cut ends and try to cut costs because, starting a business, you may not have all that money. But I think a lot of the times we end up spending more money trying to figure it out because you're going to try so many different things before you do it right. So if you do it the right way, the first time, even though it's not cheap, it's not that expensive either. And you could set yourself up to where probably within 6 months to 7 months, you could be getting lines of credit of $50,000, $60,000, $150,000, depending on also how your personal credit is for your business. But you have to be a business, like I said, and I keep saying that even though it may sound like being repetitious, because I don't want people to believe that just because they come up with a name and they come up with an idea, they're going to be able to acquire a $150,000 line of credit for an idea of business. It has to be already a business that's going to be doing something. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you learn a lot there with Shark Tank. With Shark Tank. If you ever see that show,
I like that show.
It shows you a lot of things about business value and everything.
Awesome.
So I hope that answers your question, Harry.
I think
we lost him.
We lost. Oh, he's there. Hello?
Yes, I'm
Oh, he's there. We thought we lost you.
No. Yes, you did. I think there's, you were talking about the dreams earlier. A lot of dreamers up there now have a guideline to follow, so that I think is a big help.
It's very important, and a lot of the times, because again, it goes back to who's teaching us, who's giving us a class on how to start a business or where to put our ideas. No one. So most people end up listening to somebody else, or
but not an expert.
But not an expert, because a lot of the times we feel like, well, it's going to cost me more money, and I should know this because I'm an adult. And
it goes back to you shouldn't be embarrassed.
You should ask. Yes.
Right.
Ask questions.
Did that answer your questions, Harry?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
Gonna have a good time.
You have the
Thank
best
you.
tequila out there.
I love your tequila. 88
Thank
tequila.
you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. So there you have it. And actually, he posted on our Facebook that asking questions. So we were going to go ahead and ask you that question, but he called in. So that's even perfect. We will play a song and then come back with GTS credit.
Okay.
You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show here live with GTS Credit. And we've, been having callers call in and ask GTS Credit anything pretty much. And we had a testimonial from Lou Pizarro from Operation Repo, which was awesome. And women, he's single, ladies, with the Black American Express. Yes. And we had 88 Tequila owner and CEO Harry. How do you say his last name? Demon? Demon. Harry Demon. Yeah, I just didn't want to pronounce it wrong.
Harry D.
And, so he called in and asked a few questions.
Yes.
And I just want to go back again, what advice would you give another business owner? Like, when they're just about to give up, or maybe they need a loan, or I don't know, like... I'm sure we both have been in that situation where you're just desperate. Like, what do you do now?
Well, right now, before I answer your question, before I forget, is right now that Christmas is here, the tendency that we have is spend, okay? And going out, and when the cashier says, do you want to try for this credit card?
Yeah, what do you do there? I always say no.
No.
I always say yes.
No.
For an extra 10% off, right?
Here's the thing. Credit is based on 5 things, okay? 35% is how you make your payments, whether you're making them on time. 30% is the balances that you carry on a credit card. 15% is the history, how long you've had a credit card for. 10% is new credit, and 10% is the variety of credit that you have open. Well, every time you go ahead and you apply for credit, it's a bad thing. Not only does it damage your credit because of all the inquiries that you're going to be adding on your credit, but if you get denied, then that's also a negative on your credit. So right now, if you're if you go to 10 stores and you want to apply with all of them, or let's just even say that they all give you credit, well, that's 5, 6, 7 new credit cards that you just opened. You just became a higher risk than what you were before. Wow. So what's going to happen is, yes, you save 10%, but you're going to pay that back 10 times fold with the interest rate you're going to end up paying. Plus, you're going to owe all these other companies for the next 4, 5, 6 months. They're not going to be reporting positively on your credit report. So it affects you in many different ways. So what I would suggest for people to do on Christmas is save. If you can afford it, buy it, but don't go out applying for new credit. Most people, what I see is they apply now, then 6 months down the road, they don't want them, they close them. That also affects their credit. So in different areas, it's affecting your credit all the way around. So my advice would be, if you have 1, 2, 3 credit cards, that's more than enough to maintain and to keep a good score.
Where were you in my life earlier? I'm serious, man. I think I had like 17 credit cards. I'm just kidding.
Really?
I think you would know, right?
Yes.
Because she's fixing my credit.
It's funny when people just bust out different ones and they go like this and they go through their purse and there's, here, try this one.
Try
and,
this one.
It's just like, what do you mean try this one? And then at night, wait, hold on, I have another one. And
so what's the limit for?
The limit should be a variety of 8 things. So that's a house, a car, a gas card, 2 major credit cards, and maybe 1 or 2 department store credit cards that you normally go
and just leave it
and
there.
Use. And that's it. You don't need any more than that. Because the moment you do, what happens is you're going to have to maintain all of them. And if you don't maintain, the 1 or 2 credit cards that you use the most are going to affect your complete profile. So if you have 17 and you're not maintaining them, it's going to be really hard for them to really keep you at a high score. Okay? Now, what's the highest score that anyone can have? Through the FICO system, it's 850. The truth, in the 20 years I've been in business that I've looked at credit reports, I've only ran into 2 credit reports that have had an 840, 845, which is pretty close to being high. Right. And they were both over 70 years old.
Oh,
okay, so what does that tell you? It tells you that it's all about habits. See, those are people that use the credit card. They use it, they pay it off, they maintain them really low. They're not a risk whatsoever to the system. So they're going to have high credit scores. Everybody in our age or younger, what are we used to ever since we get out of high school? Credit cards.
Yes.
You know, we don't even look at the number that or the amount that we're financing anymore. $50,000, $60,000 car doesn't even become an issue. It's just how much can I afford? Oh, your payment's going to be $350. I could do $350, but you're not even thinking about the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 that you're just signing your name to. Okay, so we're in a society that it just became a lot easier to say, here, let me finance it because I don't have to worry about how much I owe. I only have to worry about how much I can afford on a monthly basis. Well, that's big trouble. Because if you have 17 credit cards, like what you were saying, and I've seen people with, you know, anywhere from 10 to up to 20 credit cards in a combination of loans and different things. Well, it's a catastrophe just waiting to happen, no matter how you look at it, because your income, it's not growing with the amounts of money that you're financing. So if you're not in a position or a job where your income is going to grow, how are you ever going to get out of this debt? You're not. The industry knows it, and they drive by it because we're making everybody wealthy, except our families.
So you're literally just paying the minimum on your cards just to not go bankrupt or, you know,
or not to have bad score.
Yeah, but have a bad score.
This is good. This is a good topic because
So a lot of it, you know, we have to. Again, it goes back to education. What do I need a credit card for? Not to purchase the best shoes or not to purchase, you know, Christmas gifts. You need it to maintain and to have a good score so you can have the best financing terms when you buy a house, when you buy a car, when you want a line of credit for your business. Because if you have that score, any bank is going to loan your business $150,000, $200,000 for your business to grow and be able to increase your monthly income. It's a whole circle. So when you were asking me, what does a business owner do at the moment where they're thinking, okay, I can't do this because I need money? It's going to go back to what have my habits been in the last 5, 10, 15 years that have gotten me here? And how do I change that to be able to change the possibility of somebody looking at me and saying, here's $50,000 for your business so you can really change your business?
It's true,
it's
though.
All a big circle.
The habit. Because now, since you're fixing my credit, my whole habits have really changed, to be honest with you. Like, I look at it differently now. Like, what is it that I need? Or what did I use before? You know what I mean? That was so important to me that I needed those credit cards. And how, you know, it's like it changes
the old
you.
need and want.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you need and what do you want?
Yes.
But we do have a testimonial calling in right now. So before they hang up, we're going to put him on. And we have a Jose Lopez. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Jose.
Hi, good evening, Claudia. How are you doing?
Hi, Jose. How are you?
Great, thank you.
One of my favorite clients.
One of your favorite clients. So, Jose, how would you rate Claudia? GTS credit.
Well, can I tell you a little bit about Claudia now? How specifically she helped me?
Yes.
Okay, about 9 months ago, I had a dream of buying a home. But about 3 years ago, when the market crashed, I ruined my credit. I have a short sale. In the bank, where I will not name it, they put that I was foreclosed on the home. So I'm in the advertising business, and I know a lot of people. So I could have done with many people that I already knew. But what struck me with Claudia, when I asked her about the situation, she was very professional. She asked me about, she was going to run my credit. I signed a form, and she did. And what followed was really, really that make a difference. She provided me with a written quote in 2 steps. The first step was going to be to make me able to go back into buying a home for a certain amount of price. And the second one, if I wanted to, an option was to really raise my credit where I would be able to buy a home at a lower interest rate. But not only that, she specifically told me how I was to manage my credit card, what percentage I needed to pay off on them. There were about 8 pointers that I needed to do, And there was no pressure at all. Like she said, this is what I can offer you, and if you decide to do it, just call me. So I decided to do it because of the professionalism, and I'm happy to let you know that right now, about a month and a half ago, I moved into the house of my dream with my family, with my wife, at a very low interest rate, and all that made possible because of Claudia. So I really, really wanted to call and let you know that.
Well,
do you have any questions for me?
Well, first off, congratulations.
Yes.
That's a big step, buying your own home, and a big accomplishment. And thank you for letting us know your testimonial towards GTS credit, because I know if there's listeners that are listening, that's important to know how, she can help, and how the company itself, Joe, which you can't see on Ustream.
Still in the parking lot.
He's here. But what they can do for a client. So,
and thank you. And you know what? I was really. These are the moments that really make your business feel like you're doing the right thing, and you're working for the right reasons. When Jose came to me, his first thing is, Claudia, are you sure we're going to be able to do it? It's like, yes, as long as we work together, we can do it. To my surprise, he bought the house a lot sooner than what my goal or my time frame was, which makes me happy, but I know it makes him a lot happier because we got there, and a lot of it's not just Claudia and it's not just GTS, but it's the clients that really work hand in hand with you, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's the client really doing their part to make their goals a reality. And Jose, I want to say congratulations and thank you for calling. That means a lot to us. Thank you.
Sure. Can I say a couple more things?
Yes.
That might be useful for the listeners.
Yes.
The process was very, very easy. Claudia makes sure that all the paperwork and all the forms and all the mailing get to you in a proper way. So easy to handle it in the process. So that's what I really recommend about that. Like, the process is, you make it so easy for me.
Well, thank you.
And the second one is when I was working with a realtor, with a lady who sold me the home. There were still a couple of issues that I needed to clean up with my credit was good, but I still owe a credit card. So my realtor was contacting Claudia, and I wasn't even paying for that because she did her job, and she was consulting with a realtor and taking care of those little things that came up in the last minute. And she advised the realtor and what to do and how to do it. And it took just, I think, a couple phone calls, but she was available. So that really makes a difference.
It does.
Thank you.
It makes a difference. And thank you so much for calling in, Jose. And congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with Boss Lady and Chrissy Taco here on CGD Live Radio Show. We have GTS credit in the house. And we're here during our commercial. You guys were listening to Treasure, Bruno Mars. How was your guys' weekend?
It was awesome. My mom I'm going to say my mom because I don't cook. My mom makes the best turkey
Thanksgiving.
Ever. Yes.
You spent it with family, obviously.
Yes.
How was it?
Awesome.
And she makes the
best turkey.
Why is it the best?
Oh, because it's juicy.
She makes it with love.
She makes out of
it's
chicken and it comes out
tasty,
turkey.
and I don't have to cook it. I just eat it.
What's your a family
I have a crazy family. Crazy good.
What's a famous dish between you and your family that's like a repeated recipe? Is there something particular? Mole.
Yes, made from scratch.
Oh wow!
What kind of mole?
Got me hungry.
The sweet kind or the?
Well,
I haven't eaten mole.
Well, the sweet kind. All you do is you add a little bit of sugar. Well, more sugar to it, just to make it sweet. But
Sweet and spicy, because there's sweet and spicy, and there's green, and then
it's red.
my mom adds chocolate to hers and piloncillo.
Yes.
And then one time she had a Reese's peanut butter cup in the fridge. She threw that in there. I promise.
This will work.
I swear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she saw Reese's.
Oh, wow,
She's like,
that's
who's
you.
this? And she just threw them in there. The two Reese's peanut butter cups.
That'll work.
And it had peanut butter, and you can taste it in the mole.
Really?
But see, your family's known to make empanadas because your dad's a panadero.
Well, no, they're known to make Mexican bread, pan
Mexican
dulce.
bread.
Pan dulce.
Like complete.
Not just
like every
empanadas.
time I see that on
Conchas, those are the
Facebook
best.
Yeah, they make conchas.
and on Instagram, I'm like,
donuts,
save me some. Did you
empanadas,
save me some
libros.
this weekend?
We have some
No.
at the house still.
But where's mine?
If we gotta bring them, you gotta go visit us.
You have to go to my house.
He forgot. I would have to order some, but no, they're awesome. So yours, Mole, and what's yours, Joe?
Well, that would be kind of hard because there's plenty of dishes. But I'm going to stick with the basic one.
And your dad was a
Chile
cook.
verde.
Chile verde?
Yeah, best chile verde.
And your dad was
Yeah,
a
my
cook.
dad was a cook. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Cook? Really? What kind of cook?
He was a chef at the Hacienda Country Club. It was a private golf course.
Yeah, I know
We used
there.
to love when he cooked. On Mondays was his day. We never missed a
Might have
meal
cooked
there.
Mondays too.
We learned a lot of dishes from the
That's
basic
awesome.
Latino ones. So he taught us the other ones, like cordon bleu, a lot of different types, which is great. Monday was never a missed day.
That's awesome. Do you guys have any shout-outs?
To my mommy, it's her birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Yes.
Mom.
Happy birthday, mommy.
Yes, happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
What did you guys do? Today's her birthday?
Yes, today.
Ooh, December 1st. I'm December 6th.
Oh, really?
Awesome. So what did you guys do? Are you guys doing anything
My
for her?
brother came down from Santa Barbara, so all the kids and all the grandbabies were there.
Uh-huh.
And she made tostadas.
Ooh.
Ham tostadas, cheese tostadas, carnitas.
Girl, you're making me hungry.
Right?
And then I said, I gotta go. Yes, so everybody's still at home and celebrating. But
Oh, so are they tuning in? I hope so. Well, big shout out to the family and a
yes.
big happy birthday to
Birthday.
her mom.
To my mommy.
What's her name?
Emma.
Emma. Ooh, pretty
Emma.
name. Emma.
Yes.
Any shout outs?
No, not at the moment, but thanks.
And to all my clients. All my clients.
Yes, all the clients actually called in. Right?
Yes, and also if you guys want to go to an awesome event, I'm going to take a few minutes
Go
to
for it.
invite them. We're having an event in Santa Ana, and it's a Christmas event. Come and meet Santa Claus, and we're going to have a booth out there, and it's going to be next Saturday from what time?
10 to 2.
From 10 to 2, and the address is 1901 North Broadway in Santa Ana, California. And pretty much it's just to give to the community. There's going to be a contest of, drawing for kids, and it should be fun. We want to give a little bit to the community, and that's going to be a good way to
Well,
do
you got to
something.
send me that so we can go
So-
ahead and post it up on our
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, everything
Yes,
to go
of
ahead and
course.
promote it.
So I'll send it to you.
That's awesome.
So
And
if any of you want to go out there and ask more questions,
right?
we'll be there.
I think you covered a lot though, but I think it would be more one-on-one.
yes.
More one-on-one.
A lot of people feel more comfortable because it's really opening up. And a lot of the times, talking about credit, it's talking about the things that we've done that maybe we don't feel so proud of doing,
Yeah. Because you
And-
see all the dirty secrets on there.
Yeah.
The credit report,
All the
right?
missed payments.
So if you've been divorced, if you're going through a divorce and it's
Damn.
affecting your
Bankruptcy.
credit, if you've gone through bankruptcy, which
What
I've been through
chapter?
both.
Chapter 7, chapter
you know
13.
what? And just to share a little bit with people, I know you were saying share with them. When I was going through a really tough situation due to medical reasons, I really ended up taking 2 years off from work, which my life completely just stopped. I went from working, long hours, having money in the bank to not having anything. I remember I was giving birth to my second child, not having a penny to my name. And all I kept thinking is, okay, I've already lost 3 homes. I've already turned in 2 of my vehicles. I have no money. The only money I have is just to keep making the rent payment or the house that I lived in. And I kept thinking, what am I going to do? But at the same time, even though I was going through such a rough situation, and here I'm opening up to everybody on radio.
I love this. This is the Claudia I've been waiting for.
I like that.
It was at that moment that I realized that even though my health wasn't there, I had a 1-year-old, a baby that was just born, no money. I had lost everything. That I called my attorney and I said, what am I going to do? And he said, Claudia, you know exactly what to do. And I said, what are you talking about? It's like my life here is falling apart. What do you mean I know what to do? He's like, you know exactly what to do because you've been in the industry. You've taught people what to do to get out of situations, bad situations. He says, now you're just living the situation. So when he said that to me, it really took me a little bit because you go through all the emotionals of this is not fair. What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. But it really hit home to where I thought, okay, well, I know exactly what to do. My credit is shot because, 3 foreclosures, the BMW that I still owed $90,000 on, I had just returned. And I said, okay, well, it affected my credit. All I have to do is just get back on my feet, start working, do what I have to do financially, and my credit will be fine. Right after, I ended up having to file for bankruptcy because of all the foreclosures and the money that was, owed to the homes that I was never going to be able to pay back. I filed for bankruptcy myself, and, looking at my own profile and knowing how quickly I was able to jump back out of a bankruptcy to now looking at my credit report and seeing it in the 700s, I could honestly tell people it could be done. I've lived it. So when people come to me saying I owe $60,000, I don't know what to do, to me it's like, when I filed for bankruptcy, it was $320,000. So $60,000, it's like, really? It's like, you don't even have a problem. Let me tell you what a real problem really was. So, I'm open with my clients because I don't want them to look at me and say, it's like, you don't understand. You don't know what I'm going through. Because yes, I do understand, because I was already in the business, because my life fell apart while I was in the business, and I've been able to get out of it. The whole circle. And so to be able to talk to my clients and say, look, I've lived it. I've been through it. If I could get out of it and not live a stressful life, because a lot of the times it's not all the bad that's going, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a bankruptcy, whether it's I just lost everything. It's the stress that follows because you don't know how long, and you don't know what you're going to have to go through to be able to get back on your feet all over again. That's what really kills people. So when you could go through so many difficult things but know exactly the steps to take to get out of it, piece of cake, and I'm here to tell you.
You're your own testimonial, girl.
My own testimonial.
Like you said, that's really nice that you have a client and they know that you've been through it, so they know that you know what you're talking about and you know what they're feeling also. So.
And I love it that you actually opened up and shared that story, because when I sit down with GTS Claudia, the credit lady, that's the inspirational one that I get, that inspires me, because everybody has a background. Everybody has their history, you know, and to know that you can get back on your feet and be this awesome entrepreneur, awesome leader, you know what I mean? And it's like, she's gonna cry. But it's inspirational. And obviously, it's not, today isn't all about just credit, even though we are promoting, and helping people out there. It's about giving the story behind GTS Credit. And everybody knows that when I have somebody on here, it's always inspirational.
Yes.
And that's what I love. You just tuned into KCAA 1050 AM with the Classic Glamour Dolls live radio show. I just remembered what you said. We're here having too much fun here at the station with GTS Credit. And we are, and shout outs, right? Go, Christine.
I have a few shout outs. First one is for the girls at LF Empowerment, Legendary Empowerment.
Shout out to my girls.
Yes, big shout out. Go on their website. It's legendaryempowerment.bigcartel.com. 5% of their earnings goes to charity. So we actually had them here a few weeks ago. Awesome girls.
And I wasn't here. Boo, I missed them.
They're based in Vegas. Yeah, they're based in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And they came down. Awesome, right? Any more shout outs?
Just Legendary Empowerment.
Whoa,
that's my biggest shout out.
You just stayed quiet. You always have something to say.
I always have a lot of shout outs. To Yazzie Baby.
To Jazzy Baby. Big shout out to
there.
Engineer, the one that's making me laugh and telling me when to stop, when to go. Are you sick? You took some medication, right? I think I'm getting sick. I feel it. That's it. Tomorrow
Take some vitamin. Emergency.
I know.
We need to leave, Claudia. They're sick.
Yes. They're like, oh man, we gotta go. Yeah. Well, we have less than 10 minutes here, but big shout out. I know they're listening to us from Ventura.
Ventura County. Woo.
Big shout out.
Also for M&M Auto Body and Paint.
Yes.
For all your needs for automotive repairs. They're friendly, trustworthy. They do great work. They understand people, especially right now that they are going through hard times in the economy. They will work with you with all your needs. They welcome all insurance claims. Towing is available. It's Mario Martinez and Sons. You can give them a call at 909-258-3249.
And it says 20% off if you mention Danny Alcaraz.
Yeah, mention
KCAA
Danny Alcaraz radio station. You get 20% off. And they have a toy drive. Also, M&M Collision and Restoration will be holding their 3rd annual toy drive at their body shop, 631 East Foothill Boulevard in Rialto, here in the Inland Empire. As well as they'll hold a mini car show for locals at their shop on December 21st at 9 o'clock a.m. and it ends at 4 o'clock p.m. For our last toy donations, they will be partnering with Pet Boys of Rialto, San Bernardino, and Redlands, the local Farmer Insurance, the local O'Reilly's, and Danielle Chris Productions. All proceeds will be directly donated to the Children of City of Hope National Medical Center in Duarte, California.
Awesome. And I want to go ahead and promote December 14th, which is a celebration of life. I call it birthday. It was going to be in we're not downtown Fullerton. Where am
Mission
I at?
Tobacco Lounge in Riverside, downtown Riverside.
Downtown Riverside. There you have it. And I think it's 21 and over, $8 cover. There's going to have some cover bands.
A Social Distortion cover band.
A whole bunch of birthdays
and the
put in
Rockets.
one. One of them is mine. You want to celebrate it? December 14th. We're there.
We're there. We'll be there. Mission Tobacco Lounge, Riverside, downtown Riverside.
I just got to think that the next day I have to work.
You do? Ooh, no. It's on a Friday
crazy,
or Saturday?
It's crazy. Huh?
It's on a Saturday, right?
It's a Saturday, yes.
Call out.
I can't. I can't. I wish I could. I can't. And then this weekend, that is my birthday. Literally Friday. I'm going to be working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have a crazy schedule. But, hey, you want to...
I'll party for you.
You will party for
Me and
I know,
the GTS.
right? All of a sudden, you guys are together partying, and I'm like left out.
We'll tag you on Facebook.
Boo! Wish you were here, right?
All for you.
But I think I might be doing a slide bar Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.
I work Wednesday, so
whatever. You've gone. You better go.
Maybe.
Any more shout-outs, guys?
Depends how my credit is.
Yes.
If I can go out, I need to check my credit, FICO score, and all that stuff.
Any more shout-outs to anybody?
Just to all the people that keep supporting us, that are there for us, and mainly our clients, because I think always, like everything else, without the clients, without people out there really trusting you and being there for you, you're not a business. So, yes,
it's very true, though. Yes. Very true. And I really appreciate you guys coming down and actually,
thank you.
Giving the story. I know, Joe, you were quiet. Give us a joke. Come on. I know you were talking
about... you put me on the spot. Well, let's go to sports now.
Yes, you wanted to talk about sports.
Today's scores.
Who's your favorite?
Well, let me give him my phone because I got to get the scores. But anyways, all the teams that won, way to go. And all the teams that lost, try next week.
What do you think about Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, well, come on. Anybody gives you $25 million, why take less? Are they willing to give it? Take it. I know I would.
Yeah. Yeah, we would too, huh?
We were saying we'll take 500,000. Sign me up. Where do I sign?
If I wasn't 4'11".
That's it.
4'11"?
4'11".
And not girl.
With or without heels?
Without.
What about with heels?
5'3".
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You need to wear the big platforms.
Yes.
I'm like, we're having a moment here. Yeah, but thank you for coming down, telling us your story, getting a little personal here, and sharing your story, because that's really what people want to hear. How, I think you're your own testimony. I know regarding of whoever called, it was awesome that called, because that usually helps. But being your own testimony and how you actually were able to get out of it and get yourself back on your feet is awesome.
In a short period of time, because my little one's still little. So just, keep your head up, your eye on target, and thank you for having us, because just as much as you say I'm an inspiration, you're an inspiration to me, because I don't think I've ever met a woman that works so hard, that's so focused, that no matter what's going on around you or in your personal life, you always have that smile on your face.
And that rose on her head.
The rose on you, that it just makes you look beautiful. You're so glamorous. But you're there.
Because I can't pull that off.
And I can't pull it off.
I can't pull that off.
You're there for people, and just to be able to see that And for me, it's a reminder of those moments when it's like, I don't want to do this. Not that I can't, but I don't want to. You always pop in my head saying, well, God, it's like she's going through so much, and she's gone through so much, and that smile is still there, and she's still on the radio, she's still working, she's still doing. What's my problem? So Aww. I always, so you're that inspiration to me, and probably to many other people, and you get that a lot, but it's just, that's the drive to just keep on going and keep doing.
I have to remind myself too sometimes, though. It's hard. It is hard. It's hard, and thank you for those beautiful words.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in. I have a tear now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please tune in every Sunday, 7 to 9, to the Classic Glamour Dolls Live Radio Show. Let us inspire you. Peace.